Alright, this question is called reverse vowels of a string. It says write a function that takes a string as input and reverse only the vowels of the string. So for example 1, the input is hello and the output is HOLLE because the E and the O are flipped. And for the second example, you have the word LeetCode and the output is LEOTCEDE because every vowel is flipped. Note the vowels do not include the letter Y. Alright, so the key to solving this problem is to use two different pointers at once. And by pointer, I don't mean real pointers like in C++. I just mean references to two different elements at once. So what we do is we start one pointer all the way to the left of the string and the other pointer all the way to the right. And what we're going to do is we're going to move the pointers inwards until they land on a vowel. And when they land on a vowel, then we swap them. I'll show you what I mean. So right now we start off on the letters H and O. Is H a vowel? And we can check the vowels down here. Is H a vowel? No. So then we just move it one letter to the right. Now we go over to the second pointer. Is that on a vowel? Yes, it is. So we don't have to move that one to the left. So now that we're on two different vowels, we just swap them. Whatever is in pointer 1 gets switched to pointer 2 and vice versa. So now we do it again, but we have to ensure that the pointers never cross. So we'll move this pointer 1 to the right one. Is this a vowel? No. Is this a vowel? No. And finally, try to move it one more, and now they're on the same element, so we're done. One thing to note is that strings are immutable in JavaScript, so we're not actually doing this with a string. The first step we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make our string, and let me just put this back to the original string. We'll have to make it an array. Then we swap the variables like I did before. And then at the very end, we just convert that array back to a string. Alright, time to get to the code. What LeetCode has given us is a function called reverse vowels that accepts the parameter s, and s is just the string of characters. Remember I mentioned that in JavaScript, strings are immutable, so the first thing we have to do is convert our string to an array. So we'll say let string r equals s dot split empty string. So that will convert LeetCode to an array. Okay, now we need our two pointers. We'll say let pointer 1 equal 0. So that'll put us here. And let pointer 2 equals string array dot length minus 1. So that'll put us here. Alright, so the first thing we have to do is we need to have a while loop that moves our pointers. And we have to make sure that our pointers never overlap. So while pointer 1 is less than pointer 2, then we can do some stuff. But what do we actually need to do? We need to move our pointers inwards until each one of them hits a vowel. So for the left pointer, we need to have its own while loop that makes sure the pointers don't overlap. And we'll say if the letter we're on is not a vowel. Remember, this is pointer 1 we're talking about. What do we need to do? We need to keep moving it to the right. And when it's finally on a vowel, we'll go into this else statement. We'll just break. So far, that will look like this. Are we on a vowel for pointer 1? No, because it's on the letter L, so we move it over to the right one. Are we on a vowel now? Yes, so now we break. We need to do the same thing for pointer 2, so we'll keep moving it until it's on a vowel. So we'll say, while pointer 1 is less than pointer 2, if pointer 2 isn't pointing to a vowel, then we'll just decrement it, so move it to the left until it is. And when it finally is, we'll go into this else statement, we'll break out of the loop. What that'll look like in the drawing to the left is it'll check whether pointer 2 is on a vowel. Is it? Yes, because it's on the letter E, so that will break. So now that both pointers are on vowels, what do we need to do? We just need to switch the vowels. We'll do that using a typical swapping mechanism. So we'll save whatever's in pointer 1 to a variable called temp. Then we'll replace whatever's in pointer 1 with the vowel in pointer 2. All right, so now that we've replaced whatever's in pointer 1, we need to replace whatever's in pointer 2 with whatever was in pointer 1 before. Remember, we saved that in a variable called temp. So now if you look to the left, in this example, both are on the letter E, but when you swap them, just picture them being swapped. If they're on different letters, it would be more obvious that we're swapping the variables. All right, so now the last thing we have to do is we just have to move pointer 1 up 1 and pointer 2 down 1. All right, so that would look like this. All right, so now we get to the next loop. Is pointer 1 less than pointer 2? Yes. So now we go into the inner loops. Is pointer 1 on a vowel? Yes, it is. So we go into the second while loop. Is pointer 2 on a vowel? No, it's not. It's on the letter D. So we just move that over 1. Now is it on a vowel? Yes. So we break. Next step is we swap the two variables. So E becomes O, and O becomes E. Then we increment our left pointer, decrement our left pointer. Now we start the outer while loop again. Is pointer 1 less than pointer 2? Yes. Is the letter that pointer 1 is on, is that a vowel? No, it's not. So we move it to the right. But now notice that the pointers have overlapped, so we just stop here. And if we take a step back, we'll notice that we've swapped all the vowels in our original string. All right, so remember that strings are immutable in JavaScript, so we had to convert that to an array. Now we'll have to convert it back to a string, so it will become LEOTCEDE. The way we do that is by using join, so return string array dot join. All right, so now all there's left to do is to implement our isVowel function. Remember, all that does is checks whether the letter we're on is a vowel. So isVowel equals a function we'll pass a character into. We'll have a variable that just holds all of our vowels in lowercase. Then we'll just check whether the letter we're on is one of those vowels. So does A-I-O-U include the string that we're on? And just note that we're making whatever string we're on a lowercase because they might pass in an uppercase vowel. And to compare it to our vowels in line 39, we just have to first make it lowercase so the comparison makes sense. All right, so we've now implemented that. And we've implemented the whole solution, so let's run the code. Looks good, let's submit it. All right, so our solution was faster than about 76% of other JavaScript submissions. As usual, the code and written explanation are linked down below. If you like the video, just hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. See you next time.